Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pokemon Pharaohs episode 14. We have one last story, and then after that story, we will move through to the Ice Gym and hopefully get to where we were in the last playlist. But, the second coming of heroes. They say it was a beautiful day. The sun was shining, the Pidgeys were chirping, children were out playing with their new Pokemon. No one could have known the terror that was on the way. Suddenly, a cold gust pushed through the region, followed by dark clouds filled with black lightning. Snow began to fall. It started as a light flurry of snow. People in Pokemon couldn't understand it, but they knew something was wrong. After a few minutes, the light flurry turned into a dark blizzard. The cold wind howled. Houses chilled. People in the streets didn't survive long. The ice tyrant Kyurem has finally arrived. But how? Kyurem resides deep within the earth. It is too large to move through the caverns it was trapped in. As the Pokemon continued its frozen rampage, trainers and their Pokemon decided they had had enough and confronted the Ice Tyrant. Most never made it close enough to Kyurem to confront it. They perished in the frozen wasteland like all others without shelter. Only 30% or so of those trainers made it to Kyurem. Those that did met a crueler fate. Pharaoh Hector, seeing no other option, rose to combat the tyrant in 1v1 combat. He successfully wounded Kyurem, but he fell in combat, like the rest. With all hope seemingly lost and no other trainers seemingly able to stand to the roaming blizzard, once more a child rose to the occasion. The child Axel lost his family when the Ice Tyrant first spawned in Radora Town, and began training from that day on. After 2 years, he knew it was time. He set off with his trusty Ace Gardevoir to confront Kyurem. People all around the region could hear the whelps of power being released as the battle raged. As the battle raged on, something felt wrong. Kyurem was no longer producing cold. The storm was raging, but it was beginning to feel like summer. Gardevoir released an all-powerful Moonblast. Kyurem let out a cry, but the cry began to skip, almost like a vintage record or a buffering video. Suddenly, Kyurem explodes as if made of glass. In its place was a dark hole that almost seemed to emanate an ominous wind. From within that void, a gargled serpentine shriek was released that dropped the hero to his knees. As Axel regained his composure, he noticed a being. This being in front of him seemed to warp all reality around it. Everything that came in contact with it seemed to ripple and evaporate into nothing. This being was none other than Giratina, the Shadow King, the warper of realities, the one who walks between worlds. Axel stood up strong, looked at his Gardevoir. They both nodded and began their battle to save reality. Gardevoir began with the Psychic. Although it landed, it didn't seem to do much damage. Giratina shrilled and retaliated with Aura Sphere. Giratina used Shadow Force and disappeared. With Giratina nowhere in sight, Gardevoir began using Calm Mind. The undefended Gardevoir was smashed and sent flying across the field. As a last resort, Gardevoir unleashed all of the energy it had been storing. The Moonblast Gardevoir released was seen by everyone who was looking in the sky. It was both beautiful, but unbelievably terrifying. It landed as a critical hit. The Giratina, in a last-ditch effort, used Destiny Bond on Gardevoir. Suddenly, a gateway opened in the ground. Giratina hastily flew into the gateway, not without dragging Axel's heroic Gardevoir with it, never to be seen again. After it was all said and done, the battle had been won. The world had been saved, and reality was polarized as everything began to regulate. The child known as Axel was deemed as the new pharaoh, set to live his days ruling and leading his people to rebuild their broken towns. I wonder, though, if Axel could do it all over, if he had the chance to make the choice to save us or to save his Gardevoir, which do you think he would choose? The challenge began again when Pharaoh Axel passed. As a new pharaoh was crowned, Pharaoh Axel was buried in the pyramid next to Veronica, thus ending the story of our second hero. We pray that a third is never needed. So a storm definitely started while I read that. That was cool. It was kind of coming, but it definitely got way louder. Gonna pop that repel. Still got a repel, that's nice. Now we're gonna fly our way back. Man. Ooh, who knew this was gonna be a white noise stream? Looks like Twitch is still holding up good though, so that's what matters. Ooh, that's noise that shouldn't be there. Okay. Now begins a long trial of ice types, with one mystery trainer mixed into it. Prepare for frostbite. Man, that's a dick move, buddy. You're supposed to have an ice type. That's a wall. Ooh, that was a good one. Got him. Thanks for the heal. Did that say Celio or Sneasel? Questions for later. Sneasel. Good call. Okay. So, I might have to redo this stream just solely if the power or internet goes out. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. Or there's just gonna be like a little 10-minute long episode, and I'll just save it whenever I see a crash, but hang on. Yeah, go ahead. Get underneath the blanket. I know you don't like the storm. You're being a good boy. What? Tartano's evolving? Yeah, lay down, buddy. You're okay. I don't think this guy's actually an ice type, if I remember correctly. I think he's an engineer. Yeah. He's just here to fix the holes in the walls. Oh, it's a bug. Gross. Okay. Can't throw you in there. Yeah, you should be fine. Oh man, I'm gonna have to do so much training in between this gym and the next gym for one specific thing. I might actually have to take the EXP share off of that right now. Or I guess I could just train up the other one to be at the... That was good lightning. I can't wait to re-listen to this video and see if you can hear all of that in the background. I feel like you have to be able to. That tropical storm's rolling in through the ocean. Waves have been crazy for the last couple of days in Florida, so I assume this is going to be great. Why are you wearing a jacket in here? I still love that Jinx and Mr. Popo are like the same being. They're definitely from the same makeup. If I'm not mistaken, I think Dragon Ball came first. I remember reading it correctly, so I looked it up one time. Who came first? Forearm, Tien, Machamp, or Goro? And I'm pretty sure it was Tien was first. But that doesn't necessarily mean Popo came first, because that was still a year or two in between those characters. Even though the forearm was just based off the Indian deity. Might not be Indian. The blue one. Starts with an S and H. I'm not going to butcher that, though. It's not Shiva, I don't think. Forgot what level Ultra Boy evolves. Wait, I don't think it does evolve like that. I think I have to give it an item, don't I? Oh, crap. I have to give him an item. Nice. I think it's like a... I don't even know. That would be a looking up thing. We'll actually probably do that in between battles just to see which item it is. Did I never pick that up from in there? Okay, there's the white flute. Just making sure I grab that off the professor's desk. As much as everyone wanted to see me run back through that one more time. Here we get mine. Let's check that out real quick. So if you're ever curious how to look up which Pokemon evolve when, go to the PBS. Do not ever save changes. I cannot stress that enough. Do not save any changes ever. You go here, you double click on Pokemon, have it pull up to your whichever notes. This is not the normal base notes. Control F. And then Chandelure evolves with a Dusk Stone. Okay. Like, for example, Magmar, it evolves at level 55. And then after you get done with it, close it. Do not save it. Do not leave it open. Close it. back to the game. Now, where we get a Dusk Stone at, I don't know. That might have to be at the Stone guy. Hope it's not. Might have to be, though. That's something I never really looked into, I guess. Huh. Let's see here. We're about to be fighting fire. I got a bad feeling about throwing you out to start, but... Wow. That was fast how I teleported into him. Well, well, well. It isn't my cousin Gluttonous. Sorry, I didn't expect to see you into the pyramid. Given how pathetic the gym has been, I will happily take you on too. Yes, you have a rivalry battle in the middle of the gym. And you don't even know it's coming until you walk up the stairs and walk right into her. So you're prepared to fight ice types and you get thrown into a fire type. Yeah, that's a crit too. Ghost or Shadow Ball should be able to take it down. Man, it's landing all of the good stuff. Woo! Man, I'm gonna have to spend tomorrow or this weekend just cleaning out my driveway now. All the sand always just accumulates there. Crapola. I maybe should have went out and got Failure for this battle. I don't think Failure would have done a ton, but at least would have got through one of them, maybe. Really? Oh. So make sure you always pay attention to what Pokemon you see the challengers having, because they're just gonna have the like fully upgraded 100 like level 85 version of this team in the pyramid. So like if you see the Larvesta here, they're gonna have the Volcarona later. The Magmar there, they're gonna have that Magmortar later. And it's gonna be 80 perfect IV, perfect everything. Moveset kind of can't ever be perfect, but yeah. Smogon had done its thing. The further into the game you go, the more Smogon-y I kind of made things. Early on, it's just all about having moves like that. Where it's just, okay, it's a high damage, high accuracy, smash, can you deal with it? Which probably isn't the best technique, because it does inevitably lead you to just being overpowered. Man, I finished this right, though. Nice. Sorry, get out. We'll see you next time. Fun fact, do have a niece named Aria. You ever see this video? Love you, kiddo. proud of you. You ever play this game? I will love you even more. But definitely I remember playing so much Pokemon Go with her, so that was fun. Remember this time I called her unruly in the car and she cried for like 20 minutes because she had no idea what unruly meant. She just said it sounded like an ugly word. And my brother just leans over and goes, well, you were being pretty unruly in that moment. Gotta love kids. Rest of this gym should be a cakewalk right up until we get to the gym leader. Keyword is should. I usually try to make the trainer in front of the gym leader a little bit stronger than the other trainers in the gym, but I don't think that really starts until the 4th or the 5th or 6th gym. There's randomly a snap point in the game where it's like, okay, I'm not really pulling punches on you anymore. It's still not hard just to be hard, but it's still like, okay, we're not gonna do anything else to... By that point of the game, you should be able to just deal with anything that's in front of you. So I'm going to give you everything that I can in front of you. Like a line of swimmers that are not water types. Type of stuff. But you'll still get your good old signs that say, don't come here, you'll die. That was one of the weakest blizzards I have ever seen. And I am happy for that. I didn't say do it again. And yes, this whole room of the gym and the room above it will be all hail inside. I don't know why Pokemon didn't experiment more with that, with putting like weather effects inside the gyms to make them have actual weather-based teams. But didn't rely on the AI knowing how to set up hail and sandstorm. That couldn't just happen, right? I died to a Delibird? That's a new one. I don't think I've ever lost to a Delibird before. This run has been so many new things for me. Never really used the Love Disc. I don't know when the last time I trained a Ferret past level 20 has been. Like this, I've never gotten one of these up that high without it being in like one of the new games where it just sits in your party and does absolutely nothing but still gets an absurd amount of EXP. I'm so glad that I was able to not make that happen in this game. Team-wide EXP is awful. If it had team-wide EXP, I'd be trying my best to find a way to somehow lower it all to where everything's getting a shrivel of EXP the whole game. And that just creates new problems. Smoochum.
Give us a smooch.
We're probably not going to be able to finish this gym in this episode, but we're probably going to be able to get to the gym leader. Maybe. I don't know. 5 minutes is not a lot of time. Not when there's hail effect in battle. I gotta say, I do like the new upgraded shit in speed. Because I upgraded running, but I didn't really upgrade overworld. But the upgrading this has been great for in battle. Excuse me. Again, if you play this, make sure you always change this. Do you want to play Pokemon Pharaohs? Go to the link in the description, remove the space before.com or the space before.tg after you copy it and paste it into the URL at the top. Just remove the space and then click enter. It'll take you to the Google Drive or Discord, and the files are there to download. It'll say, this file is too large. We can't tell if it's safe or not. I'm not a coding genius. You can see my game. I'm not a coding genius. But it's a fun game. I want to know if people like it, if they don't like it. I've seen there's a decent amount of people who have downloaded it, but I can't tell how you like it. You don't tell me. It'll be fun after I release this long list of videos to see if it actually gets way more traction or not. Or go to EeveeExpo.com, search for Pokemon Pharaohs. There's a lot of games at EeveeExpo.com, but none of them are mine besides one, so. And I've only ever really played a few fan games, and the ones I've played, I'm pretty sure aren't even allowed to be played anymore unless you know how to find them in alternative places as well. Like, Pokemon Uranium was dope. That one was so dope. Except, it was really hard to play through a second time. Because everything felt like you were following so similar. That's why I kind of tried to make this to where you could play through the game 5 different times and have legitimately 5 different teams by like the 5th gym. To where you can do a lot. I made it to where Nuzlockes are way more difficult without just being, there's a type here that's super effective to everything. Deal with it. I like what I did. Come to. Boy. Buddy, you're okay. That storm's not gonna get you. Even if the power goes out. Okay, so one more trainer. What time is it? 28. Do we have in a minute and a half? Is there time? I think there's time. It might be a few minutes longer than a minute and a half. Oh, that was my last revive. Okay, so we're actually just going to go on back to this. Heal. Gonna go buy some items. So that means the next episode will be fighting the last 2 trainers in the gym, plus that big old guy. I almost accidentally just dropped an FF on that one, so that would have been awesome. It just makes things so much easier to not have to run back. Alright, I hope you all have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and please, let me know if you like the game. We're honestly just going to close the stream and then open it up again, and we're going to be right back into this battle. So, See you guys soon.